You are slowly destroying your life by doing this, like you are abusing your own existence. It's not about physically, it's more about mentally. And the most dangerous part of it, it feels normal. How do you expect your life to become beautiful, exciting, and full of opportunities if you constantly search for what is wrong with it? Like you wake up and you complain about the weather, you complain about the breakfast, you complain about the book you are reading, you complain about your routine, and then you wonder why nothing feels fulfilling. And let me clarify something. This is not about suppressing emotion. There's nothing like bad or good emotions, like because anger can fuel your ambition, sadness can deepen your self-awareness, frustration can create momentum. Emotions are not the problem, your attitude is. There's a difference between experienced emotion and developing chronic negative orientation toward life. One is more about like human and the other is habitual. Let's imagine situation. You wake up on a rainy morning and immediately think, what a terrible day. It's snowing and you say, this is miserable. You look at your breakfast and you think, I don't even eat this. And yet you continue to eat in it. You don't like this book, but you keep turning the pages. You don't like this music, but you continue to listen to it. Like you just continue to suffer and it feels like, like passive self-betrayal. If you dislike something within your control, change it. If you cannot change it, change your attitude toward it. What most people do instead is complain and continue. The cycle slowly reshapes your perception of reality. So when you continue to complain, like nothing will change. You just will continue live this miserable life. And let's talk about something like simple. Let's talk about weather. If you live in a country where long winters, cold autumns, and snowy weather, are you going to spend 5 months of the year resentful? Like the weather not negotiate with your mood, but your mindset does, your perception does. When you repeatedly focus on what you cannot control, you reinforce helplessness. But when you focus on what you can control, your environment shifts. You cannot stop the rain, you cannot stop the snow, but you can light the candle, you can, make delicious tea, you can, I don't know, do stretching. Like, it's not about toxic romanticizing of hardships of your life, but it's like reducing hostility toward reality. Like you continue to wake up and you continue to complain every day. Like, ask yourself, what is the purpose of this negative thought? Like, is it improving my life? Is it like motivating me? Or it's simply like, like mental noise, like you just allow this mental noise to distract you. And negativity sometimes disguises itself as intelligence because like it's analytical, it's realistic, it's sharp, but in many cases it's simply repetitive focus on flaws, on like pessimistic things. And whatever you repeatedly focus on expands in your perception. Imagine being in a relationship with someone who wakes up and like tells you every day you are not enough, you are disappointed, you are unattractive. Would you feel inspired near this person? Would you feel like safe or motivated? Or would you start to slowly, like distance? And you just need to understand that the relationship I just described is the relationship you have with your life. If you constantly criticize your circumstances, insult your day, diminish your experience, why do you expect life to respond generously? You ask for blessings, you ask for opportunities, you ask for growth, but you treat the present moment with contempt. Improvement requires participation. If you approach life as if it's unfair, or disappointed, or cruel by default, you will interpret everything through that filter because it's your perception, and perception will become your reality. And Once again, it's not about, like toxic positivity. It's not about pretending everything is perfect, everything is fine. It's not about growing injustice or pain. It's, it's more like choosing your attitude toward life. And there is big difference by saying life is difficult sometimes and saying life is terrible. Because one creates resilience, the other creates bitterness. And once again, optimism is not naive. And like pessimism, you can train it. Like you train your pessimism, you can train your optimism, and you can, like normalize optimism in your life. So, which means you can train yourself. Tomorrow morning, when you wake up and before you start to criticize your life, like ask yourself, does it improve anything? If the answer is no, let it go. Not because you are delusional, but because you are intentional, and energy is really important. And where you direct your energy determines what grows. If you direct it toward irritation, irritation multiplies. If you direct it toward possibility, possibility becomes visible. Like your psychology shapes your behavior shapes your outcomes, and your outcomes shapes your life. You just need to understand one thing. You don't need to adore everything. You simply need to stop attacking everything. Stop humiliating your own existence. Stop speaking to your life the way a toxic partner speaks to someone. Because, when you direct your bad attitude toward your life, when you direct into these negative thoughts, joy feels accidental, opportunity feels like rare, luck feels selective. But the moment you shift your attitude, something will change. The same rain will feel like, softer. The same room feels warmer. The same, like, I don't know, cup of tea feels more delicious. And it's not because you like completely transform your life, just because you start to transform your attitude toward life. And maybe one day you will feel this fulfillment and start to live your best life.